Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the September 25th, 2018 In the Know webinar, which is the QuickBooks Online monthly update webinar for U.S. content. My name is Wayne Daly, and I'll be your host for this morning. I'm a service and support specialist here in Tucson, Arizona. I work on the national accounts team, which takes care of the care managed accounts, and I have a passion for creating and improving process to save time and money. I initially started with Intuit in 1999. However, this last time around, I've been with the national accounts team for 4 years, and as it says, I'm in Tucson, Arizona. Today, our agenda includes these following items: welcoming the attendees, which I've done, and we're going to review the CPE credit. We're going to go over the learning objectives. We will talk about a few accountant resources. We will talk about a program update or two, and then we'll get into the two presenters today. We are going to talk about new health benefit offering and QuickBooks Capital, and then a closing. This is scheduled for 60 minutes today. More than likely, we were going to be very close to ending anywhere between 11:50 and 12 o'clock. Now, again, today is a no dial-in phone number webinar. So this slide is to let those who cannot hear me know that they need to contact GoToWebinar support for assistance. For those of you that are having trouble hearing, there's a couple of steps that are listed on this screen. Other than that, the only thing that we can do is ask you to contact GoToWebinar. You may be asking yourself, why do I keep talking about that? I can hear you. Well, there's people that can't, and I need to talk while you're listening so that you know that there's nothing wrong with your hearing or your ability to hear. Now, today's webinar does offer a CPE credit. One CPE credit is available. The requirements to have that one CPE credit is 50 minutes attending the webinar and 3 poll questions answered. So today, we have 2 presenters. We are scheduled for 60 minutes, and there are only 3 poll questions in today's webinar. So please make sure that you're seeing the poll questions. Typically, we have more than 2 presenters, so there's more than 3 poll questions. However, it's imperative that we be diligent to see when the poll questions are posted so that you can answer those if the CPE credit is important to you. So today's learning objectives: define and describe recent updates to QuickBooks and QuickBooks Online, explore QuickBooks Capital offering for small business funding through Intuit, and understand how Simply Insured will provide health benefits to QBO clients. So our first slide is the QuickBooks product update page. Now, that's you can get there through the link that's in the handout. The handout is available from the GoToWebinar control panel. This is a resource that will let you look up articles and about products, features, services, and other information as it relates to QuickBooks Online. You can see that the URL is available on this slide, and this slide is available in the handout. Additionally, there are training events that are available to you. The training events page will take you to live events, virtual conferences, and any in-person training that's available. As you can see, it's scrolling through the webinar section and showing all of the different webinars that were available. Now, this is a static page. I know that the dates say August. We will get that updated so it's less confusing in the future. However, there are plenty of CPE credits and plenty of QuickBooks information available from that training events page. On that training events page, there's a link at the top that says QuickBooks Tutorials, and that's for additional training resources. The great thing about that, it's additional training resources that are available not only for accountants, but for your clients to go and self-solve and learn the program. As you can see, the circle at the top shows that small business is selected, not the accountants tab, and that small business has the ability to sort or see the different trainings available according to the topic: accounting, invoicing, sales, taxes, expenses. And it provides typically a brief video, and as you can see, they're anywhere from 1 minute to 4 minutes to give a quick walkthrough on how to use a feature or item in QuickBooks. It's a very helpful resource. I'm going to stop here for a minute to make sure that you guys can see the link that's available to download the handout. If you cannot download the handout through the GoToWebinar control panel, which looks like the little piece of paper, if you click on that and for any reason your browser is not allowing you to download it or see it, that link that's listed there will allow you to download that handout. That handout is pretty important because it contains links to everything that we're talking about today, everything that we've already covered or about to cover through the product updates or the feature items. We're going to pause here for a moment just to let the people know who cannot hear us that they would need to contact GoToWebinar support to get additional assistance with making sure they can hear this presentation today. While we're on this slide, I'm going to thank you to please use that question log. Please provide us with your information so that we can hear, or excuse me, your feedback so that we can hear your voice about the product, about what you like about the product, about what you don't like about the product as it pertains to the topics being presented today. If you need any technical assistance, if you're experiencing anything with your QuickBooks Online that's not related to the topics today, we'd ask that you go ahead and give us a call at the customer support phone number. Let us help you and let us know what you think about what you're seeing today. So today's updates, we're going to go real briefly. It's about the QuickBooks Connect, and I have a brief announcement about the bank feeds for QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Connect 2018, Backing Your Path to Success, is going to be in San Jose this year from November 5th through the 7th. Now, there's a link down at the bottom that'll take you to the website that'll give you the purchase options. There's an accountant package that you might want to take advantage of. It's got some really cool stuff set aside for our accountants. Now, there is a brief video that I'm going to show about this event. All right, that's the QuickBooks Connect 2018. I was notified by my producer that there was no sound on that, so I apologize. We'll see if we can't get you some information. Yep, and I'm seeing that that's being confirmed by our attendees that no sound came through on that video, so I do apologize for that. Again, I will email out a link regarding that QB Connect 2018 information, and it will include a link to that video. Now I'm going to speak briefly about the QuickBooks Online bank feeds using API connections. What we have here is we know that there's been, that as we're transitioning from the old system of doing bank feeds and connecting the bank feeds to the new system, which is called OAuth, that there's some pain points that accountants have experienced. We wanted to make sure that we provided these articles to you because these articles will provide you the steps to resolve any of the login issues. Just a high-level view, the old system would require you to log in to the bank, or excuse me, to put in your login password, username password, and if you changed your password at the bank site, it would require you to do the change in QuickBooks Online. The new system is kind of a token system where the financial institution actually provides QuickBooks permission access to the account. So if you change the account information or the username password at the bank site, it knows not to bother QuickBooks Online to have to update that information. So it's a more secure connection that we're transitioning to make sure that we're providing protection to you and your clients. These links are available in the handout. Go ahead and download that handout to make sure you review those links. This morning, we do have as our first presenter, or our first topic, excuse me, who have new health benefits offering from within QuickBooks Online. The QuickBooks Payroll is partnering with Simply Insured to provide health benefits for our small business employees. Today, we have our presenter is May Lamb, and she's a product manager on the QuickBooks Online Payroll team, or the QuickBooks Online Payroll group. She's been with Intuit for 3 years. She's in Mountain View, and her passion is for her new baby. And that's very exciting. Congratulations, May. We'd like to thank you for presenting this morning.
Thank you, Wayne. I am super delighted to be here with you guys today because this is a offering that we have been discussing for a few years now, and then it's been 1 year in the making. So it is great to finally be here at launch point. So to start off, I wanted to talk about why we pursued this. Time and time again, we have had many employers within our QBO ecosystem tell us that they would love to offer health benefits to their employees, but that they believe they can't afford to do so. We know that health benefits are critical for recruiting, for retention, and then also there's a good number of people who want to offer it just because they believe it's the right thing to do for their employees as well. So we are delighted to finally have a solution within QBO to address this pain point. And here we have partnered with with Simply Insured, which is an online insurance broker, to offer this to you guys. So I will go into the product now. So the product is housed under the Workers tab. On the left-hand side, you can see that we are in Workers, and then on the top, you can see that we are in Benefits. So Workers, the Workers tab is where everything related to employees and contractors are housed, and so Benefits is over here. And this is the starting point for you guys to start shopping for medical, dental, and vision insurance. In the center here, you can see that we are showing plans starting at a certain dollar amount, and this dollar amount is actually localized for the customer zip code. So this really does give an idea of what a plan in your area might look like. And then down at the bottom here, we're calling out some of the key benefits of this product here. So first, get instant quotes. So with a few key pieces of information, being your zip code, the number of employees you have, and the employee ages, we are able to instantly surface real quotes for you guys to see. And then as you guys kind of refine from there, you guys would be looking at actual accurate plans. And we are pulling in the plans from all the major carriers. And I would just contrast this to kind of the traditional broker path where you would normally have had to spend some amount of time collecting all the employee information, then handing it over to the broker. The broker would then take 1 to 2 weeks to get back to you with quotes. And what we're doing here is we are accelerating that process to just a matter of literally seconds. The second benefit that you see here, lock in low rates. So our technology is able to pull in plans nationwide, and we are for any given zip code looking through 100 to 200 plans. And because of that, we're able to surface a wider range of options and more affordable options for you guys. The application is fairly quick and simple. We are asking for only what is absolutely necessary, and we aid you in the process with the information that you already have in QBO. I will walk you through the application, and you can see how simple that is on that end. And then the third benefit I wanted to highlight is the connection back with payroll. So obviously, everything here is seamlessly integrated into payroll, into QBO. So for example, employee deductions, when you sign up for health benefits, most people are manually entering that in now. It is labor intensive, and it is also it could be subject to errors. So over here, we would be automating that process for you, and it would always be up to date and always correct. So I will dive into the product now. Imagine that a customer comes here, they click find a plan, and then it will get them to the next page, which is the quotes page. So on the left-hand side over here, this is the information that you would need to kind of filter or populate in order to see these quotes over here. So we are automatically pulling in your employee information. So this is on the left-hand side. The information that you already, to the extent that you have the information in QBO, then it is automatically pre-filled over here. And the user can choose to add family if they want to, or add more employees if there's any employees that's not already in QBO. And then down over here, they can filter plans. It could be filtered by deductible, by the carrier, You could also do copay or the doctor finding the doctor network, and that is to the bottom of this. And then on the right-hand side, as you adjust your preferences, all of this will automatically populate, and you are seeing quotes with the price that is the accurate premium. And so on the over here, you can see some of the key information that you might want to know for the plans. If you want more details, all the details associated with the plans are here. You just click more details. If you wish to compare several of the plans, you can choose, you can hit compare. This is sorted by the recommended plans to you guys, but you can also sort it by the monthly cost. And you can see over here that these plans are for this zip code, and again, that is pre-filled from QBO. And this is pulling in 268 plans for this zip code, which is in California. So that is an overview of this page over here. And you can see how you can, you know, how we're making it easier for you by pre-filling the information from QBO. Through some quick filters, you can immediately see the price plans and choose the plans that you're interested in to look deeper into. Now, assume that a customer has come here and then they see some plans that they like, they do some research, compare, etc., and then they decide that they want to start an application. So they click Start Application, and it brings them to this over here. So this is the quote that they're assembling over here. This is the plan that, let's say they just chose, and then they can choose to add dental or add vision. The cost over here will populate, and then they can start application. If they have any questions at all during the entire process, they can hit this chat over here to ask questions, or they can call into the hotline to talk to somebody at Simply Insured, and they're fantastic over there. True experts who can help with any questions from how do I choose a plan that's right for me, to anything about the application process, to when you're signed up for a plan, with any details of a plan that you want to know more about. So imagine over here that they click Start Application, and you can see at the top, this is the timeline to let them know where they are in the process, and we are right now in the complete application. It should take about 5 minutes to fill in this information. There's about 20 questions. Most of the questions you would know the answers to just off the top of your head. As I mentioned before, we try to keep it as simple and you know, absolute need to know as possible. So then you fill in this information, and at the bottom here, you can electronically sign. So there is no need to, you know, download, print, scan, and then fax something over. Everything is available. Everything can be done digitally over here. So then you sign electronically, and then you hit Save and Continue. And then this is the part of adding your employees. So over here, we enable you guys to, we pull in the information for your employees over here, their name, their email address, and you can choose to allow them to enroll or not. So if you do choose to allow them to enroll, then we will then send an email to invite them to enroll. They can choose to either enroll or they can choose to decline. Either way is fine. But it puts the work on them to do that side of the process. And then for you guys can just confirm this information, select who you want to offer the benefits to, and then hit Save and Continue. And then this is the point where you upload the required documents for your insurance application. And depending on the state that you're in, you would see anywhere between 2 to 5 documents that you need to upload. If these documents are available in QBO, which a number of them are, we would have a "How do I get this?" Which gives detailed instructions on how to locate this document within QBO. Then you guys can download it and then upload it over here. And that would be the last part of the application process. So at this point, the small business owner is done, and we would just be waiting for the employees to fill out their side and choose to enroll or not enroll. At that point, after the employees are done as well, then the entire application is complete, and it will be automatically sent off to the insurance carrier. The insurance carrier will review, takes about 7 to 10 days, and then when they approve, you can come back in to manage everything right here in QBO. So again, this is the same page that we saw earlier, workers, and then within the workers tab, and then benefits at the top. And instead of finding a plan over here, whoops, it went a little bit fast to the next page. Okay. And then over here, you can manage your plan, see plan details, get your insurance cards, anything you need, you can go over here. And then if you have questions about your plan or questions about changing anything, or adding employees or terminating employees, you can come over here, or you can always call or chat Simply Insured as well. So that is the that's a new insurance, the new health benefits insurance that we are offering here. And hopefully that was able to give you guys kind of a look into some of the key benefits of why you would be using this. One would be the sheer variety of plans that we're pulling in, which also in turn pulls in more affordable plans. The second, the instant quoting, so it's saving a lot of time. Usually you would have to kind of iterate back and forth with your broker to figure out the plans, and then punch numbers and check with your employees. Over here you can kind of go through that process much faster, and you have the numbers at your fingertips right away with a few key pieces of information. Everything is online from the quote to the application. If you wanted to talk to someone live, you can definitely always feel free to do that. And as I mentioned, the folks at Simply Insured are terrific. But if you have everything you need, then you can just go through the application online, and it should be super quick and efficient. And then everything, of course, connects back to QBO, so you don't need to worry about any manual entry for the employee deductions or anything related to the benefits. And then you can also manage everything all in one place. So we're taking one important key piece of employee work and putting it into QBO, and hopefully that makes everything easier for one more thing that's easier for the customer. Okay, and then before I open it up for Q&A, I'd love to just hit on some of the important notes for this offering. So first, we are making this offering available to our payroll customers first, folks who are with QBOP or QBFSP. Eventually, we would love to roll this out to folks across QBO, but we wanted to start with the most critical customers, and then make sure we nail the customer experience before we open it wider. The second thing over here is that we will be doing a phased rollout even within the payroll customers. So we are very early in the process, and we literally just wrapped up alpha testing, and we are moving into beta this week with 5,000 beta users, and then we will be ratcheting it up from that to tens of thousands. This will all happen sometime in October. And then I think after in the end of October or early November, that is when we are going to go to GA and make it available to everyone. So we are super excited to come out here and tell you guys about this today. And I know that a lot of clients turn to you guys for help on HR and benefits questions. So we definitely wanted to bring this to you guys and make sure you guys are aware of this offering. But do please keep in mind that it won't be available to everyone until probably about a month out. And then the third thing I wanted to note is that accountants, if you wanted to access benefits, you have to do so by directly logging into your client's QBO account. You can't access it through QBOA right now. So that's the last note. Okay, and then I think with that, Wayne, we can open it up for questions.
Excellent, Mee. Thank you so much for presenting this topic today and bringing this feature to us. While we're on this slide, number 3, that's the first question that comes to mind, at least for me, before we get to the questions. So you had said that accountants will not be able to access through their QBOA login, that they'd really only be able to access by logging directly into QBO. But you said not yet. Are there plans to integrate this so that accountant logins could see the benefits tab when they log in through their QBOA login?
Yeah, so that is something that is in discussion right now, and I would imagine that we would love for accountants to be able to access it through QBOA. It's a matter of prioritization. As you can imagine, there's a lot to figure out on the back end. So I said yet because I do believe that that is definitely the ideal state, and we would love to get there. And I think we will. It is a matter of prioritization, and when we have an update on that, we will come back to you guys.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. And the reason I wanted to start with that, it's because it does invite us to have our accountants chime in on that through the question log, provide any feedback. Again, this is a benefit for your clients who are using QBO so that they can sign up for the health benefits and take care of their business. But as the accountants, we need to know your perspective. So please make sure you're sharing that through that question log. May, I do have a few questions that came up. One of them was, I know you have a phased rollout, beta September to October. So there was a lot of questions about that. Thank you for addressing that. Are there a minimum number of employees required for health insurance? And what I mean, I've had quite a few questions about this. Can an employer who has basically no employees but is paying themselves through QBO, can they sign up for the health benefit?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So there needs to be a minimum of 2 people who sign up for health benefits. So it could be if it's 2 owners, that's fine. Or if it's 1 owner and 1 employee, that's fine too. But it does need to be a minimum of 2.
Perfect, thank you. Now, is there an option for tracking COBRA for existing employees through the health benefit?
Yeah, so actually, I didn't show this side of the product, but so there's basically 2 paths that one can follow after they get to the benefits page. One is to find a plan and sign up for a new plan, but the other one is actually to connect their existing plan. So for folks who already have a plan, a benefits plan, and they are not interested in changing the plan, but they just want to connect it over to QBO. They are able to do that. It does require them changing the broker of record to Simply Insured, and then from there, Simply Insured will be able to pull in all of the information for their plan, and they will be able to manage this plan within QBO the same way that somebody new came on and signed up for a new plan can. And the employee deductions there will be integrated back into payroll as well. So that is definitely an option, and we highly encourage people to take advantage of that and get to as much of an all-in-one with QBO as they can.
Awesome, thank you. Just a couple more quick questions. One was, can you sort the plans by type, HMO versus PPO, HSA type of plans?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the filters that I didn't show it because it went beneath the screen. However, the availability is definitely there. So you can search by network, and so it could be PPO, HMO. You could search by HSA. That is available.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see. So I know that we talked on number 3 about the accountants not being able to see their clients' health benefits through QBO by logging in through their QBOA. However, it's kind of a related question. Will accountants be able to take advantage of this as well in their own books in QBOA?
Yeah, absolutely. So accountants can sign up for their own practice, and they will be able to see benefits through QBOA if they do that. So they can't see their clients, however, they could see their own. And this is available to them, and the process is exactly the same as what I had just outlined before for the accountants.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now with that, thank you, May, so much for presenting today. I will remind the attendees to please continue to populate your questions on this topic into that question log. What will happen at the end of the event, we will compile that question log, and I'm going to go ahead and send that over to May so that we can filter it for her questions. She can answer those questions, and we can get that FAQ posted up to the In the Know Web Hub, the web page through our community site so that you can see the answers to your questions. May, once again, I'm going to thank you for your time today, and I'm going to go ahead and launch that poll question now. Our next topic today is QuickBooks Capital, and it's a way for small businesses to access funding from Intuit right within their QuickBooks Online product. And today, our presenter is Milind Kandahar. He is a senior marketing manager for QuickBooks Capital. He's been with Intuit for 2 years, and he's in our Mountain View office in California. And he has a passion for launching new products that delight our small business customers and accounting pros, and he loves to travel. Milind, thank you for presenting today.
Um, I really appreciate this opportunity to present to our attendees today this exciting offering called QuickBooks Capital. A warm hello to all our attendees. Um, uh, I'll quickly say this is typically done by product managers, and I'm coming from marketing because our product manager is recruiting excellent early talent at Grace Hopper Convention in Houston. So you're stuck with me today, but I promise I'll do justice to this exciting offering. All right, with that, let's dive into what spurred the development of this offering. So at Intuit, as you know, we start with the customer problem. We're really passionate about solving important customer problems. And the specific problem we were trying to solve was businesses, typically younger businesses that need capital early in their life, they have pretty limited funding options, right? Banks typically need long business history, and that forces these younger businesses to sort of take a gamble with their personal credit, with their savings. They get pretty unreasonable rates at times, and they miss out on great opportunities. So that is what forced our team to take a step back and see how we can best solve this important problem for our customers. So I want to give a quick overview of QuickBooks Capital and who we are. We announced ourselves last year at QuickBooks Connect. Some of you folks may have been there, and we have been offering term loans that are funded by Intuit ever since we launched. And by the way, 60% of capital customers were unlikely to get funding anywhere else because they tend to be young, they need a lot of paperwork, or banks or lenders are not willing to go low when it comes to loan amounts. They can only access $100,000 or above in funding, which is not what they need. And so that's what we found out. A lot of our customers typically are unlikely to get funded elsewhere. And oh, by the way, these are excellent businesses. Our payback rates are better than industry, much better than industry standards. So we know we are lending responsibly to businesses that can afford funding. And our rates are pretty competitive with large banks. Our customers are incredibly satisfied with our offering. 98% of them say they're satisfied with QuickBooks Capital. We're working hard every day to get that number to 100%. And we've funded $137 million in loans up until July 31st, which is the end of our financial year. Obviously, we've made a lot of progress since. So that's, in a nutshell, a quick introduction of QuickBooks Capital. So what is it? What is the offering? It's like I said, term loans. We go as low as $1,500 on the low end of the spectrum, and we go as high as $100,000. And the term ranges from 6 months to 12 months. And repayments are automatic. They are either weekly or monthly. There's no prepayment penalty whatsoever. If customers have the funds to pay off their loan early, we absolutely want them to save on interest costs. So there are absolutely no prepayment penalties. And if they need more funds, they can easily apply for another loan. So I quickly want to show you folks how the process works. It's a pretty simple, quick process. It's a 4-step process. There's an easy online application, and we'll dive into that in a few minutes. I do want to show you folks a quick demo of the whole process. It typically takes a few minutes for customers to complete the application, just a couple minutes. We turn it around pretty quickly. We provide a decision within a day or two on our end. And once the customer is approved, they get a notification to review their loan terms and accept their funding. And as soon as they accept the funding, we disburse the funds into their account, again, within a day or two. So the whole process doesn't take more than 2 to 3 business days, which is incredibly fast, especially compared to some of the traditional lenders. All right, so with that, I want to quickly walk everyone through the demo. Bear with me one moment. All right, so a lot of our customers find us through our QuickBooks Capital website, and I'll share the details with you folks towards the end of the presentation. But they can simply go to QuickBooksCapital.com. and they can click on I'm interested. Just a quick note, we're not available to all QBO customers as of today. We're working hard every single day to make sure our offering is available to as many QBO customers as possible. We are available to a large QBO population, but not everybody is eligible to apply as of today. So they can click on I'm interested. They're prompted to log in, and once they log in, they come to this tab called the Capital tab. The Capital tab houses the entire application. Everything ranging from application to finding out their decision to paying back their loan, all of it can be managed through this one single tab. As you can see, we have developed this nifty little tool where customers, before applying, can play around with loan amounts. They can play around with their credit profile and see what the cost would be for that specific loan amount and a credit profile. By the way, this shows 5,000 to 25,000. We keep updating our product. So as of today, this goes all the way up to 100,000, and on the low end of the spectrum goes all the way up to 1,500. So once they pick an amount and they click apply, if they're happy with the repayment terms and they're happy with the cost, once they apply, it's again a quick 2 to 3 minute process. The first step is business information. Just like May said, if this information is within QuickBooks, we can easily pre-populate it, saves customers a lot of time and tedium. Then they're prompted to enter their personal information. And on this page, in addition to their personal information, we request them to give us authorization to do a soft pull on their credit. So we do a credit pull from Experian. This does not impact their credit because it's a soft pull. Once we have that authorization, we collect their bank information. This is the bank account we use to disburse the funds, obviously, and also to do the automatic repayments. And that's it. They submit. And once they're approved, we send them a notification where we request them to review all their terms and review their amount, see if they're okay with the amount, if the amount is what they had requested, give once over to all the cost information, to their payment schedule, all those things. And again, it's a quick 3-step process to review their loan agreement. This is the basic information about the loan they can review. This is the detailed loan agreement they can review. And that's it. They click get funded. And we disperse the funding in their bank account within a day or two. Now, if once the amount is it hits their account and they have hit the prepayment phase of the loan, they can manage their loan through the Capital tab. So they can look at their payment history. They can make a one-time payment, all of that through the Capital tab. And once they have completely paid off their loan amount, they can apply again for another loan also through the Capital tab. So that's just one convenient spot for customers to manage everything around their loan. So that's pretty much it. When it comes to the product, it's a pretty intuitive product. Again, I wanted to share where customers can access this. There are a couple of ways customers can find us. So if you decide that your clients can benefit from QuickBooks Capital, if this is the kind of offering that suits their needs, if they're in the market for some funding, they can find us through a couple of different ways. One is through the Capital tab. And like I said, we're not available to all QBO customers yet, but to those who are eligible to apply, they can find us through the Capital tab. They can also find us in a couple of other relevant places inside QBO. They may sometimes get emails from us, and they can apply right through the email. Or the easiest way is through our marketing website. They can simply go to QuickBooksCapital.com, and that's where they'll see the I'm interested link that'll take them into the application flow. So that's it, QuickBooksCapital.com. So that's all I had regarding our offering today. I do want to share that we just launched a pretty exciting update, which is called the free business credit score that we have collaborated with Dun& Bradstreet for. And we'll talk a little bit about this offering next month, provided we do get a chance to speak to you again next month. And I would love to talk to you folks at QuickBooks Connect in San Jose in November. I hope to see a lot of you folks. I want to hear what you have to say about the offering. If you have feedback, we always love to hear feedback from both our small business customers as well as our accounting partners. So you can either directly email me if you have questions, or if you would like to participate in research, or if you would like your voice to be heard, or you can reach out to Wayne through the in the know usual cadence of in the know, or you can also come say hello to our team that's going to be on the ground at QuickBooks Connect in San Jose in November. So I definitely urge you to be in touch with us and let us know what you think. That's all I had for today from QuickBooks Capital. And now I'd like to turn it over to Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, Milind. Yeah, I've had quite a few questions I see coming through the chat log, so we'll spend a few minutes. I'd like to make sure that we give it as much attention as we can, since it's so exciting for our QuickBooks Online users, our accountants, clients. One of the questions that comes up, what's the average loan amount? Do we have any statistics to show what the average loan amount is and what the APR or the criteria for the for QuickBooks Capital?
Yeah, sure. I can try to answer a little bit around that. Some of this information, obviously, we're not able to share just yet. But as you can see from the offering details, the loan amounts range from $1,500 all the way to $100,000. We see a lot of customers taking on the smaller daughter loans. Obviously, the slightly more mature businesses tend to take on the larger loans. But I would say we are, when it comes to the average loan amount, we're closer to the lower end of the spectrum rather than the larger end of the spectrum. And then you had a second part to your question as well, Wayne?
Actually, I'm going to linger on that for a minute. Did we have a slide, or that was in your demo when you went through the demo? There's actually radio buttons for the amounts of the loans. Am I correct on that? Did I see that correctly?
Yes, there's a slider on the landing page of our product, and you can play around with that slider, and you can change the loan amount, and you can pick a credit profile, either fair, good, or great, and you will see the associated APRs and costs that come up for that specific credit profile and the loan amount you've chosen. So it's a tool that gives you a preview, a peek into what your rates and what your offer could look like.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, this is built into QBO, and there are some clients that see it and some that don't. What's the rollout plan? Is there a rollout plan to have this? Are we going to be at 100% eventually, or is there a limitation to who can see it and who can't?
Excellent question, Wayne. I can tell you some of my colleagues are listening in right now, and they're getting excited because that is the hope, that is the goal. We do want to make it available to all of our QBO users. I don't have any specific timelines, but I will say over the coming months or so, we are going to increase the coverage. We are going to try to make sure majority of QBO users have access to this, have the eligibility to apply for a short-term loan.
Awesome, thank you. And on to that question, kind of a great segue into the next question. Does Intuit make long-term loans as opposed to these short-term loans through QuickBooks Capital?
So for now, we don't have plans for long-term loans. Our term goes all the way up to a year, and that's where we are at right now. If you go back to the customer problem that I had shared, Wayne, we started out with the fairly narrow focus of helping businesses with smaller amounts, shorter terms, typically the younger businesses. So that is the problem we want to solve really well. We want to really delight our customers, get their satisfaction to 100%, and then we will potentially think about larger loan amounts, longer terms, like 2, 3, 5 years. But as of now, for the near future, we plan to have a maximum amount of 100,000 and do not plan to go beyond a year when it comes to the term.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, I didn't see, there's been a few questions asking if there's a loan application fee. Do
There
we have a
isn't
loan
one.
application fee? There
We
isn't
do
one.
not.
Awesome.
The only cost to the customer is the interest. There's no loan application fee. There's no prepayment penalty. None of that. It's only the interest. It's fully transparent. The customer can see the cost. And like I said, if they pay off their loan early, if they have the funds to pay the loan off early, we love for customers to do that. We want them to save money on the interest payments. And if they want to pay it early, there are no prepayment penalties associated with it.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. One of the questions, are payments taken from the Intuit merchant account? Do they have to have a merchant account connected to their QBO, or is it a completely separate account that's used?
Um, I'm not quite sure I understand what exactly a merchant account is, but I'm going to attempt to answer this question.
Well,
They do need to have. Mhm.
yeah, let me
Go
expand a
ahead.
little bit on that. So a merchant account is what the QBO user is using to collect payments from clients. So
Got it.
they send an invoice and they receive a payment. So would it be run through the merchant account, or is it just a separate accounting system that's set up for the payments?
They do not need to have a merchant account. That is not a requirement. They just need to have a business bank account, a business bank account that is connected. And this is the bank account that will be used to disperse their funds and to take the repayments. They can be a sole proprietor business, and they could have a business bank account, and that should suffice.
Perfect. Thank you. And one last question, because it seems to be a theme for us today about desktop. Are there any plans to be able to offer QuickBooks Capital to our desktop clients?
Not that I'm aware of, Wayne. I am going to go back to our product team, and I'm going to go back to our leadership and share this question with them and see if there's an opportunity for us to serve our desktop customers. As of today, this is a QBO only offering.
Awesome. Yeah, and it was I had to ask, and it will be available in the question log that gets sent to you. If you need to send that over to the desktop team that might be responsible for that, we completely understand. I just want to let the attendees know that that question will probably be expanded on in the question log that gets posted to the website. Melinda, I want to thank you so much for presenting this information for us today, bringing this awareness to us to the accountant partners for their clients to take advantage. So I'd like to thank you for attending the In the Know today. Again, remind you to download that handout. The links to all of the content is available in the handout that is available through the GoToWebinar control panel or from the link that is available to you on your screen. I'll go ahead and leave that up for a moment while I remind you that I will leave the In the Know event open until noon. So if you would like to post more questions in that question log, the question log will be provided to the presenters today. There won't be any talking. I'll leave the thank you slide open, but feel free to post your questions about the topics presented today into that question log. And we really appreciate you spending your time with us today. We know how valuable your time is. We hope that you found value in the content that we've presented. Just to ensure that you have the resources that are available to you, this slide is available on the screen, and those links will be available to you in the handout. And we, once again, would like to thank you for attending. Don't forget to check out the Accountants Help Hub in the QuickBooks community, the Accountants blog on the Future website, which covers a lot of the same content you hear during the monthly In the Know. Our YouTube channel, there's lots of great presenters that present walkthroughs and features about content. Online feature request website. It's a great feedback tool. Much like this question log goes directly to presenters, that feedback tool, that online feature request website, that link is in the handout, that goes directly to the teams that generate the feedback for the product teams to see. I will also make sure that that gets emailed out. And again, thank you for attending the In the Know for September 2018. I will leave the webinar open for about another 5 minutes to ensure that any questions that you want to have included in the question log will be retained. My name is Wayne Daly. Thank you for joining us today.